Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from West Ham 3, Chelsea 1. The total opposite of what I thought was going to happen in this game. The total opposite of what I think we all thought was going to happen. I thought Chelsea today were going to turn up at West Ham with all the positive vibes around the club this week. I hate the fact I've just gone and called it that, but now there is no vibe after what I have just witnessed in that second half of pure dross from Chelsea Football Club. We were live for 3.5 hours, and I don't know if you were watching the stream, but at the end of that stream, I said, in the last 20 minutes of the game, there's no way Chelsea score a goal here. Why is that? We're crossing the ball again, passing it from side to side, playing against a low block, and Chelsea still do not know how to break down a team that are going to sit back with 2 banks of 4. We've got 10 men here, West Ham. Aguerd, who scored their first goal, gets a red card. It could have been a straight red. It's the second yellow of the game. But Chelsea did not know how to break West Ham down. West Ham dug in. Credit to West Ham. I'll say that. Didn't expect that from them today. It's looking as though they've got a lot of players that can step up now that they have sold Declan Rice. Overall, we cannot lie about what we've just witnessed out there. In the second half, it was abysmal. We were slow. It was pedestrian. Defensively, individual errors, goalkeeping errors. I am not convinced by Robert Sanchez at all. 100%. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, even when a basic shot comes in, I'm thinking, are you going to spill it? Are you going to save this one? I'm not convinced. Guys, first half, West Ham started well again. It was basically a carbon copy of what we saw against Liverpool. Chelsea slow. We go a goal down. And then we show that we can respond. We dug in, we started playing some really, really good football. Carney Chukwuemeka gets the equaliser, and then I don't know what injury it was, but just know every single time Chelsea start getting someone in an attacking area who's doing something good, they're going to get injured. They're going to do their knee. They're going to do their leg. I don't know what's happened to Carney Chukwuemeka. We're going to find out soon, but he was the best player on the pitch for us in that first half, and then he goes off with what looks to be a serious injury. He couldn't put any weight on his leg. He's hobbling off the field. And Chelsea are in a real predicament here, which I know it's crazy. I know that rival fans will be like, but you just spent 170 million on Lavia and Caicedo. Yes, but that doesn't mean there's someone who's going to put the ball in the back of the net. It doesn't mean that we've got an abundance of attackers who, when we look at how profligate some of these forward players are at this club, there's a lot that needs to be unpacked. There's a lot that needs to be dealt with. And I do think Chelsea, no matter how much we spent already, if we're going to be competing this season, we've got to find someone to score goals. Nicholas Jackson today, it looks as though he was a bit too erratic. His movement in the first half was good, but then in the second half, when it came near him, he's almost not expecting for the ball to come in. But you're a striker, pal, and I absolutely need more from you. We begin box number 1 of the 6 things we learned video. It's a red for Robert Sanchez. Not much he can do about the first goal. The second one, which is the goal that took the entire sting out of Chelsea's attack. When we conceded that second goal, we reverted back to last season's type. We reverted back to going to being a team once again who don't know how to break teams down, who look as though the intensity of what we were trying to do when we were working the ball forwards just fell apart. Sanchez needs to do better, to focus on him. Sanchez, I think, needs to save that from Mykhailo Antonio. It's a good shot, and it's a calamity from every single one of the centre-backs. Colwill gets out-muscled. Silva just kind of lets Antonio run past him. Disasi doesn't get close. Between all of them, it culminates with a West Ham goal, which kills Chelsea's chances. And even when West Ham go down to 10 men, we still don't look like scoring a goal. But Sanchez, he just looks shaky. He looks really shaky. Doesn't fill me with confidence with his distribution. For a goalkeeper who's so tall, West Ham looked dominant every time they had a set piece. He's not controlling the box well enough. And overall, I think the defenders are also a bit wary of what they've got behind them right now. Moving into box number 2, I've given a green box here to Raheem Sterling. It's another weird one from me, because if you're watching the stream, I was criticising him. I'm criticising him for something that we've always known has been the point that he's not so good with, the final end product, whether that is the final pass, the final cross, the final shot. There were times again in that first half where Sterling was just making the wrong decisions in the crucial moments. However, I don't think I've ever seen Sterling run at players and take players on in a Chelsea shirt as much as he did today against West Ham United. It's kind of as if me and Harry on the stream, my friend who was with me, we were talking about how he was just doing things a bit more instinctively. He knows he's got that pace. He's got that ability to drive and take players on. And sometimes I think it's just a Chelsea thing right now. We don't want to take players on. We don't want to dribble past players. We don't even want to try to do it because we struggle. We absolutely struggle with it. And Sterling, for me, showed a lot of promise today. I think Chelsea right now, it's alarming. Nicholas Jackson in the first half, movement was good, but awful finishing. And then when the ball came anywhere near him, in the second half, it was like he was frightened to touch it. He hardly got himself involved whatsoever. Sterling was the brightest spark. He was the most likely to get us anything out of the game. Unfortunately, the one player who really looked like making a difference today, we're going to talk about him in a minute, but he goes off. Box number 3 is a red for Mudryk. He gets the second half, but I really think I understand. Having watched this game from Mudryk, I get why Ben Chilwell's basically playing as a left winger, because Pochettino don't trust him. I think Mudryk has a serious issue with understanding tactical instructions. Positionally, he's never in the right place. As well as that, I think the finishing from Mudryk, it's actually scary how poor it is. It really is scary. And when there's that much pressure on you because of a price tag, yeah, I get that. We shouldn't keep bringing it up. We've got to call a spade here. When Mudryk gets the ball anywhere near the goal, I'm not confident he's even going to hit the target. Sometimes I'm not even confident it's going out for a goal kick. I think it's going out for a throw-in. Chelsea have got a crisis when it comes to finishing. And I know it's only the second week of the season and we've been bigging up the squad, bigging up the transfers, bigging up Pochettino, bigging up everybody. I don't know when Mudryk's going to score. I really don't, because he can't finish. Box number 4 is a player that can finish. Carney Chukwuemeka is a green. I've got to talk about him because I don't know if it's luck. I don't know if it is a curse, as some people like to say, but that is just bringing the analysis down to like the bare minimum here. I know we're all fuming, all right? I know we're fuming. Carney Chukwuemeka, I thought, was excellent. What did I say last week against Liverpool? What do I want more from when it comes to Carney Chukwuemeka? Imposing yourself in the final third. When you get the ball, if you're playing as a number 10, Christopher Nkunku, we saw it in pre-season, just turned up with goals. Right place, right time. Maybe doesn't get the most touches, but he's going to score. And Carney Chukwuemeka, the way he takes that goal, I was buzzing. After we scored that, we were all over West Ham. We dominated them. We absolutely crushed them with possession all game. Soon as Carney Chukwuemeka went off, it was as if we lost our threat. We lost the player willing to make something happen on the edge of the area, willing to get Nicholas Jackson involved in the game and not rely on him always dropping deeper, because Carnes was trying to find him with the passes and the interchanges in the final third. Soon as Chukwumeka went off, it was a disaster for Chelsea. Not only was that a disaster, but Enzo, yellow. It wasn't a disastrous performance from him overall. Caicedo comes on and has an absolute howler of a Chelsea debut. I'm going to call it what it is. But Enzo's a yellow. He shouldn't have been taking that penalty. I think there was a few people looking at this, looking at him thinking, well, has he taken that off of Jackson? And then he's gone and missed. It's a good save from Areola, don't get me wrong. But Enzo takes a pen and he misses it. And I think that was the turning point of the game. As soon as that penalty is saved, West Ham had the belief that as long as they dug in here, they're going to get chances. Still a new-look Chelsea back line. Disasi, Colwill, Silva, all playing together. Gusto, who I just thought was average at best today. Not great. We really missed Reece James's threat down that right side. He was good, but not great. But Chelsea were... I just can't believe we've gone and lost this game 3-1. I've literally had the wind taken out of my sails here. I was so looking forward to this match. Enzo's a yellow. He's got to score. You get a penalty. Chance to score your first Chelsea goal. Bury it, mate. He doesn't. I've given a red. I could give this to quite a few players. I could have given it to Jackson. I could have given it to Caicedo for what he did when he came on. It was so poor. Disasi is a red today. I think, again, that second goal, as much as Sanchez should do better, I think Disasi's got to get tighter for that goal. And from that point on, yes, we concede again from a penalty in the last minute of the game. We lose it 3-1, not 2-1. But that second goal was the killer. And I think he's given Antonio far too much respect. He's not closed him down. And you need to be clinical. There was also a couple of times where he gave the ball away. And I think positionally, the Chelsea defence today was absolutely all over the place. Pochettino brings off the captain, Ben Chilwell. I'm going to talk about Pochettino a bit here. We started with 3 at the back again. It worked last week against Liverpool. I thought that was to combat the way that Liverpool were going to flood attackers on the pitch against us last week. And it's also, we're still new. We got injuries. We're still learning a bit about this squad. Who's going to play where? We were waiting for Caicedo, Lavia, these players to come in. I think today, we saw when Caicedo came on, for whatever reason, maybe it's just been a very intense transfer saga that's taken the wind out of him as well. He didn't look ready to come on today, did he? Lavia's not in the squad. You got Big Les in there. You got Andre Santos, who's now disappeared from the matchday squad as well. Chelsea, we need striker. We need a striker. We need an attacking midfielder and another striker. Nicholas Jackson, I'm not giving up on him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving up on Nicholas Jackson. But today, we couldn't put the ball in the net. The striker didn't score. He's probably got away with not getting a red, if I'm honest. It's brutal, this. Absolutely brutal. But I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to film a shootout video now with Eunice, so stay tuned to that channel. Link in the description down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button if it's possible on this video. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new. Where do we go from here? Come on, you Blues.